Wow.
Boogaloo.
Films. Bad films. Lots of films. Very, very bad films. Films. Watch that film. Then talk about it. It's Electric Boogaloo with Matt and Keenan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Electric Boogaloo. The Halloween episode of the show We Make Bad Films Worse. I'm what happens when you forget you need to wear a Halloween costume 5 minutes before your call. Matthew Bradley.
I steal from the rich and eat the poor. Robin Awood. Keenan Groom.
Can I give you an alternate one for my costume?
Yeah.
I'm that one trailer from Tom Hanks. I'm that one trailer from Tom Cruise's The Mummy where they didn't edit the audio properly, and so you can just hear Tom Cruise screaming really loudly with no music in the background. Matthew Bradley.
This is a Peter Pan outfit, but I couldn't think of anything. Sorry.
I forgot we were doing Halloween costumes.
And the biggest Halloween reveal of all.
It was him the whole time. I'm going to take this lure off my face. Oh no. I'm going to take it out of my glasses because I can't
hear what you're saying.
Now I'm just a man with some loo roller as a scarf. It's me, old shit scarf.
Everything's tangled, everything's going wrong.
This is our very professional podcast.
There we go. What would you like for Christmas this year?
We've gone from a Halloween episode to a Christmas episode really quick.
Just stand in the back like this.
It's great because I've gone from being a mummy to it's kind of like a toilet paper pilot in a way, like with the hat and the scarf.
I'm a garden gnome. This is so many costumes in one. I love it.
So this week on Electric Boogaloo, we watched Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. Which,
I loved it.
It was a masterpiece. I had a wonderful time. This was recommended to us by our friend James. Shout out to him. Thank you for this gift. You've given us a treat this Halloween, not a trick.
So horizontal. Sorry.
What? Feather. I love this little like flap I've given myself here. Oh dear! I'm actually loving this little scarf I've given myself. I think it's very stylish. Before we start talking about the film, do you have a segment for me?
Yeah. So I think this week should have been the time when I talked about people dying in films, but we've done that.
Right.
So I just typed into Google stories from a film set. And there's a Reddit here, r/movies. What is the craziest film production story that you know of? And I'm just going to read a couple, I think.
Okay.
Because I've prepared myself.
Yeah, we're very prepared to do. For some fun context, you'll be seeing this the week after we recorded it. Today is the day the new Pokemon came out, and so that's all I've been thinking about all day.
Well, I was a day early. I've just been sitting there for 24 hours going, why is it not downloaded? Because I can't read. This one I can, though. Lord of the Rings, not very well-known film. Sean Bean was scared of helicopters, so every day to shoot his scenes in the mountains in the Fellowship, he would hike up there himself instead of flying up with the cast and crew. I actually did know this. Sometimes he went 10 hours earlier than the call time, and then they could just see, because he did it in costume as well, so you just see like a lone Boromir just hiking up a mountain.
Yeah. Well,
it's so cool.
I think another one of them as well, it might have been Viggo Mortensen, would also do that to stay in character.
Yeah. I suppose then he could go with Sean Bean and they got someone to go with, which is quite cool.
Was it also Viggo Mortensen who kicked the helmet really hard and broke his toe?
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings films have some crazy stories behind them.
They do. This person, hasn't said her name, but I worked in a production where the stunt team pulled off a stunt involving an explosion and a flaming person jumping through a sugar glass window. Unfortunately, the stunt team performed this stunt before the AD yelled action. No one was filming. It took hours to reset.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, apparently they pulled it off perfectly and then just
weren't filming.
There's a crazy story about a guy called David O. Russell who was really bad to his actors. Apparently, he was abusing a female crew member, so George Clooney just punched him in the face.
Good.
He made Amy Adams. He made Amy Adams cry on her first day on set for American Hustle, and then every day after that. He had an infamous fight with Lily Tomlinson on set of I, Huckabees, calling her a lot of horrible names, but because she didn't understand what he wanted. Jackie Weaver refused to talk to him for an unknown reason, and he's a garbage person who just happens to occasionally make some really good films.
I hope George Clooney punches him in the face again for no needed reason.
I hope Amy Adams does.
Yeah, and Lily Tomlinson.
Yeah. There's one last one.
Whoever the last one was, I've forgotten already.
That was Jackie Weaver. This is the last one on here. Well, there's 50 more comments, but we ain't got all day.
Yeah.
The craziest one I know of is the production of Raw in 1981. This one might have a few. There we go. Over 70 of the cast and crew were injured during the production of this film. Cinematographer Jan de Bon had his scalp lifted by a lion, resulted in 220 stitches.
Tippy
Hedgeron received a fractured leg and also had scalp wounds. This occurred after an elephant bucked her off its back while she was riding it. She was also bitten in the neck by a lion and required 38 stitches. This incident can also be seen in the film.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm glad he survived and everything, but if you need 220 stitches, there's nothing left at that point. That's reattaching.
This is why you don't, obviously, it's hard because
you never work with children or animals.
There's
especially not lions.
There's performing animals in there, like you get things like insects where you can have a fly sit in your mouth or something, it won't do anything, or ants you can put on your face and they stay still. But working with an elephant and a lion and making it do what you want them to do, they're a bit too intelligent to be forced around without retaliating, I think.
An elephant, maybe.
You don't mess around
well, no, you don't mess around with it, obviously, but it's intelligent enough that it'll listen to instructions.
Very true. Yeah. This one I think was just bucked off, which same as a horse. If you hurt it, it'll just
you can't domesticate an elephant because it takes too much food. But you can tame an elephant.
Yeah, elephant just chills with you, doesn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. A lion, that's not going to work.
No.
Again, you can make a lion chill with you and it'll behave around you, but that takes a long time.
Yeah.
Not a film production.
Because I was thinking, with horses and elephants, you could ride them until you just do one thing wrong and they're going to get rid of you. They just throw you off, aren't they? And falling from an elephant will not... Oh, no, it didn't. No, she didn't fall. She got bucked by it. So she stood behind it and was messing around with the elephant and just kicked her in the head.
Kicked by an elephant, you're like... good she survived, but Jesus.
It's mad that she got scalped by a lion and kicked by an elephant. She survived, and this other person had 200 stitches and survived. So they're...
Yeah. Very... both unlucky and lucky.
Yeah, very... Jeez, madness.
Oh my God. So, Jesus Christ Vampire.
Yeah.
Moving on from lion mauling. So this movie is very low budget. I think it's like a glorified student film, essentially.
It looks like it. What I thought it was people who went to stunt school and just made a film, because a lot of it was them trying to practice various...
There's a lot of stunts and fighting.
And stuff, yeah.
This, from what I saw from a bit of reading about it, this was submitted for a film festival. And very well knowing what kind of film it was. They were deliberately making... Yeah, you could tell that from watching it.
Yeah.
And some of the reviews were from people who didn't get it. I'm like, oh, this sounds terrible. It's so low quality. Why would they bother submitting a festival? And some people are like, look at this. This is brilliant.
Well, it won an award for best cult film. It won a film festival.
That, yeah.
So they realized this is a parody spoof type film.
Yes.
It knows exactly what it is, and because of that, it's actually really good. So it won.
I mean, I had a great
awards.
time.
This is the film I want to make. I say I want to make a film but like a bad film, but make it look good. This is the sort of thing I want to do.
Yes.
We're just having fun.
I was 100% there.
Yeah.
You could tell that every member of this cast was having a great time.
Yeah.
So let's just give you a basic plot summary. So
is that what?
It's difficult, but I'll do it. So there are vampires in
Canada.
Did they say which city it is? Is it in Canada?
Well, they had the Ottawa Times. They were reading an Ottawa newspaper, but then again...
But wasn't it a Portuguese production?
I don't know. It seemed they were all Canadian and just happened to be underneath in the description of the YouTube video written in Portuguese.
Maybe so.
But it definitely had an Ottawa newspaper. So I'm assuming there, but I didn't recognise it. Sure. So I don't know. That's where I went. That's why I went to jail.
Yeah. Those mooses are dressed up like vampires currently. They just got capes on, and then they wanted to do fangs, but they put them on the antlers. I was going to
say it's got like pointy antlers. Yeah.
And also the police badges and stuff because the cops. I don't know where I'm going with this.
So niche. The joke's so niche.
It's a joke for us.
This should have lasted 3 years. This joke.
No. Anyway, so this nondescript city is under attack by vampires who are kidnapping all the lesbians. Because, lesbian skin allows them to become daywalkers, I guess.
Yep.
Okay. Fine, I'll buy it. And so to combat the vampires, Jesus comes back. But
he's just there. He's chilling there to begin with.
Yeah.
He's just on Earth, just doing his thing.
The second coming has already happened, and Jesus just hanging out ready to kill some vampires.
Yeah.
So Jesus, along with his friends Mary Magnum and El Santos, go to kill a bunch of vampires and save the world. We'll get to El Santos later.
That was so unexpected.
Yeah. Well, that's a real Mexican wrestler. El Santos.
Was it actually him as himself?
No.
No,
because El Santos died in the 1980s.
Oh.
And this film was made in 2001. Anyway, so I really enjoy the narrator guy. From the start, just going hard with his Bible passages.
Yeah.
He just randomly pops up during scenes of the movie and just goes repent, because Leviticus 1:13 told you to.
Yeah.
Very intense, much angrier than the rest of the movie.
Yeah. It didn't you think it would make the flow of the narrative, but no, it's just happy scene, repent, happy scene. Yeah, very.
I've made notes throughout. A lot of them aren't going to make a lot of sense, I don't think.
What I've gone back to a page of questions. That's all I've done is just questions as I'm going along, and then
most
a couple
of this is I think quotes and descriptions of fight scenes and stuff.
Yeah,
but anyway, I have written down it. One of them is is called Johnny Vegas, which isn't the Johnny Vegas we're thinking.
When I saw it, I was like, please, no.
I was praying. But apparently, Johnny Vegas was playing himself.
Yeah,
and I think
do you know who Johnny Vegas was? He was the blonde guy doing surgery on the random woman.
No, really?
Because they said,
I thought it was...
need to go and find Johnny, and then they cut to Jesus fighting someone.
It was.
Because he made the music as well, which reminds me of seaside amusement, 2p machine music. It was great.
Yeah, for sure. I've got a great quote here early on, which is where have all the lesbians gone?
Yeah. That's what the first thing I've written, and is all the comments on this YouTube video.
Where have all the lesbians gone? I was worried this movie was good, strange, some weird homophobia with the lesbian thing.
No, it was very supportive.
Very
supportive, yeah. Which is solidified later with El Santos. Is that his name? His love interest. So
And also when Jesus talks to his mum.
Yeah.
So, two priests meet up to go recruit Jesus.
Yeah.
One of them looks like a normal priest. The other one's just a guy with a Mohican.
He's a biker, isn't he?
Yeah, it's just like a biker punk priest. And
they start playing
his whole deal is great.
It's not, but what I thought it was like they started playing Sex Pistols style music, and I thought it was going to be Anarchy in the UK. I was like, this is a very atheist song. Why are you playing a priest with all this old anarchy type persona? It's very strange.
I don't know. So they go and find Jesus, and he's on a beach.
Yeah.
He's just hanging out on a beach, building some sandcastles.
And a vampire
comes over
in the sea.
Yeah. Vampire comes over, squishes Jesus' sandcastle, and kicks him in the balls.
Yeah.
Big fight scene on the beach. Rip in peace, punk priest. He gets murdered, and the punk priest's murder is what drives Jesus to come and save the day, which leads to the first musical number of this film.
I did not expect it.
No,
I did not expect
I didn't know this film was a low-key musical.
Honestly, if you look at the description, it says
like 2 songs. But...
I think it says sci-fi horror comedy musical is what it's classed as.
Yeah. It does have one big musical number that's Jesus and a bunch of like people in like like leg warmers and exercise gear, like 80s workout video characters, go out and save the town.
Before this happens, can we just make a point to let people know that Jesus cuts his hair and gets both of his ears pierced?
Oh, yes. I forgot about Jesus having a makeover. Yeah, because he starts the film looking like proper Jesus with the long hair and everything. Then gets it cut short and he gets an ear piercing done. It's brilliant. Oh, no. They go around the town and like they save people. And there's 2 notable things of when they're saving people that I wanted to mention. One is when they play where he plays hopscotch with the person, and his body warmer angels kidnap a child. And
they take the other one with them. Both kids are gone. At least they're together.
They just lift up the kid and leave, and you never see that kid again.
Nope.
That's
how you get taken into the church.
Yes, you literally get taken into the church.
Yeah.
The other one of note for me, and I agree with this one, is that they kidnap a cop. Which, that's good for the city. Literally making the world a safer place. He also revives a kid from the dead, which kind of comes up later on in a way.
Yeah.
So, the musical number ends, and Jesus meets back up with the priest who didn't die earlier.
Yeah.
And they go for lunch at Straight Hooters. Which implies there's a gay Hooters in town as well.
No, that implies that gay Hooters is normal Hooters.
That Hooters is a gay establishment.
Which sort of goes against anything that I know about Hooters.
I mean, it might be for the lesbians.
Have you been?
There's so many lesbians in the city. The regular Hooters must just be a lesbian establishment. And they had to open a second straight Hooters.
Have you been to Hooters? Because I know you've been to America.
No.
I was trying to see whether...
Because I've only ever been to America with my family, and we wouldn't go to Hooters.
It'd be funny, wouldn't it?
You're all right, Mum, who is like in her 50s, trying to go look at women's tits.
I'll go to Hooters with my mum. We're all funny. Only the ones that have roller skates. I want to go to one where they're like coming around with like a jug of water and roller skates.
There's other restaurants that have roller skates other than just Hooters.
That's fine. I just need one of those.
Like Sonic's, I think, does that.
I'll go Sonic's because they go really
fast.
Go
there and pretend there is a hedgehog.
Yeah,
hey,
that sounds
we had
better.
the same brain.
Sounds better.
So Jesus goes to buy some wood to make stakes to kill vampires.
Yes.
And when he's going there, he gets stopped by a jeep. Out of the jeep comes a man and a woman who their intro line I wrote down because it made me laugh so much, which is, "Hey, you don't know us because we've never talked to you before.
Yes,
we're the atheists." Which, when they mention they're atheists, it makes sense. They never prayed to Jesus. Jesus wouldn't know them. But I want to introduce myself to a stranger by just going, "Hey, you don't know me because I've never talked to you before." And the atheists come to beat up Jesus, and 20 of them come out of the same Jeep, like an atheist clown car. It's so good. Of every Boogaloo film we've watched, this is the one I have to recommend the most to people. It's on YouTube, free to watch. It's only 2 hours long. Not even.
It's an hour and a half.
Hour
24. Yeah.
And it's so funny.
This is the film that we aspire to make every episode.
Yes, exactly.
It's so bad it's good, but also smart. It's really stupid and really bad, but it's also really smart. Yeah.
So he gets into a fight with 20 atheists, and I wrote down 4 kind of important things that happen in this fight scene.
Okay.
So 1, a woman kicks at his head. He catches a kick, removes the shoe, and bonks her on the head with it.
That was my favourite bit of all the fights.
That was great. Second one, a dude whips him in the face with his dreadlocks. With his terrible white guy dreadlocks. And Jesus reacts to it like he would if you got white guy dreadlocks in your face, with disgust. These stink because they're unwashed. Next one, they get a monk guy with a spinning pole kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they do an Indiana Jones bit with it in a way.
Yeah.
Where he does his tricks, he spins around, he's like, wah, wah, and she just kicks him in the head.
Yeah.
Jesus, by the way, for a pacifist, very violent in this movie. Kills repeatedly, beats the crap out of a bunch of atheists. But that's Jesus for you.
Jesus.
Jesus. Hey, Zeus. The final atheist was the woman who introduced themselves in the first place.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
He kicks her in the foot. It sends her flying into a tree. And the way they've done it is clearly stop motion, where they're just
I thought you were going to say how she went up for a fight. She was like,
that too.
I was what?
Another thing worth noting is I think they got sick of showing all the atheists coming out of the clown car Jeep. So they have the 2 leader atheists standing like this, building an arch, and the atheists walk on through.
Literally waves of a video game, and then the monk's the boss at the end, and you're over level because you've done all the side quests. You just punch him.
Sorry to interrupt to talk about this movie. I just got a message from fan of the show, Kate. They're making the Asylum are not making a 7th Sharknado film, but they are making a Spider-Nado film.
They're making the multiverse.
They're doing it. They're bringing us into it. Anyway.
So Sharknado 7 is with spiders?
I guess. I think it's going to be a separate franchise, but...
That means there can be loads of them. They can have any animal now.
Yep.
Well, there'll have to be snakes when they're doing people's irrational fears, aren't they? Snakes will be next.
Snakes in a tornado. Snakes
I literally thought you were just going to say snakes on a plane. That's been done before, Matt.
Yeah. Snakes on a plane that get sucked into a tornado.
Big brain.
So we meet Mary Magnum, which is one of my favorite character names from anything ever. She's there to help Jesus, fight against the vampires. She's part of the secret section of the Catholic Church that's full of female vampire hunters.
Yeah, she said, I think her business card said the Apostle of the Apostles.
Yeah.
So she's like Queen Apostle.
Sure.
Apparently. Whatever that means.
She,
Sorry. It had a name on there. I can't pronounce it because, I can't bother. The person who was in charge of that church was also in the credits at the beginning, so I'm trying to work out who it was. Quite a long
maybe
name.
It's the priest guy.
Like Schroben Hauser or something like that. I was making words up.
Maybe that's who the narrator priest guy is.
Maybe that makes sense because it said someone as blank. So and he never introduced himself. That would make sense that he's in charge of this culty secret church,
secret vampire killing church.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they go to a sauna together.
That's what I've written down. Laptop in a sauna?
Yeah, that would break.
Does it work? Probably not. Unless like one of those diving cameras, but
But a laptop?
Laptop, yeah.
It's a diving laptop, for divers. They go to a sauna to have a conversation and then leave the sauna immediately afterwards, making the sauna conversation entirely pointless. They just wanted to show off shirtless Jesus for a bit, I guess. And then they go shopping.
Woo! To the thrift shop. What?
This is where I've made my first note of the transitions.
Do you not? Oh, because the other one seems normal, didn't they?
Yeah, this is the first one where I noticed it was weird.
It was very Batman homage to begin with, and then they started changing it every single time. The whole Batman.
So, the scene transition is you see a cross with Jesus like up on it, like you would find in any church, a spinning disc in the background, and then a voiceover will go like Jesus.
Yeah,
it
was beautiful. That'd have been fine if it was just like that the whole time, but it did progress.
Yeah, it did get weirder and weirder every time. There's one where everyone's like Jesus.
Which is the one that you noticed?
The first one I noticed here, I think, was just a Jesus.
All right, okay.
One. That was just before the shopping scene. Jesus tries on a bunch of outfits.
That was the perfect scene.
You get the classic, like, the best friends sitting there going like, and they walk out and they come out in another outfit. It's a funny, different outfit every time. One of the shirts he wears says, fuck me, fuck you, fuck everybody. It's Jesus wearing that t-shirt. I mean...
And then he picks that brown t-shirt.
He looks that really ugly brown shirt, yeah.
He looks like Fried
and then she gives him a V-neck. The shopkeeper in this shop is amazing as well. He speaks like a character from a blaxploitation movie. He's like, yeah, I'll get you that shirt, my blue-eyed soul brother. But must be noted, this is a white guy with frosted tips. So he's like, I'll give you $5 for this shirt. And he's like, nah, man, why are you doing that to me? Eventually they settle on $8. He gets like, I'll give you $7. Now, see, you're in the block, but you're still south where you need to be.
He said a nickel at first, so I thought he gave him 8.5 nickels. That's a cheap t-shirt. That's like 80p.
You find out that Mary collects salt and pepper shakers and it literally never comes up again.
One of them was a toilet, and one of them was like, I don't know, like a red little
guy.
Was it a guy or a cow? I don't know what it was.
I don't know.
Honestly, I didn't.
Also, they clearly weren't salt and pepper shakers.
No, they were just like they were toys,
plastic little toys.
They were supposed to cost her $1. And he's like, nah, enough for you, sweet cheeks for free, girl.
So they go from there to hunt the vampires, to go to Johnny. They climb into the vents to go get him. And Jesus, when he climbs in, says, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, call the Pope.
And he's like,
it's so good.
Mary, I'm stuck. straight away. And then she climbs in where he's inevitably stuck. Cut to them perfectly fine.
They crawl through the vents.
I love to see that scene of just her pushing his head down. Get down.
There's a really gross like surgery thing that I was not a fan of. It was a little bit too graphic for me. Just the guts hanging out the woman.
Oh, that was mate. I thought he was gonna when he starts licking her face.
I mean, that was all whatever. But he did have a great line, which is, "We're running low on skin. I suggest we harvest another lesbian."
Yo, it's me, DJ Lamp, and I'm bringing you DJ Lamp's DJ Sessions. DJ Lamp's DJ Sessions. Time to get lit. You get me? For just £5.99 a week, me, DJ Lamp, the brightest of the land, can give you those sickest beats, man. The sickest beats for your DJ needs. You need to press some buttons on the computer? I got you. Beep. Doop 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 doop. Doop 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 doop. Slower. Doop 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 doop. Perfect. See? I see you there. Toilet roll head. Do you need some DJ help?
Hello there, it's me, MC Toilet Roll Head. And yes, I would use some DJ help whenever possible. That would be really good. Thank you.
Perfect. You follow my 450-week schedule, and you will be able to make 1 2-minute track. Sound good? Cool. 0800 999 today for DJ Lamp's DJ sessions.
So just to clarify, it's $5.99 per week, and it goes on for 450 weeks.
Yes.
So this DJ lesson costs £2,695 and 50p.
Cheap, right?
Yeah, that's a bargain, mate. I'm into it. Oh no!
You're a fraud, mate! You're a fraud. I knew it was you. David, is that you? David, you cheat on me, boy. I don't like it now, mate. You just look like a bit of like really thin ham or chicken.
Ham, yeah.
I thought he was going to put it on his face.
He did a bit,
like Buffalo Bill.
Maybe so.
He didn't. I was disappointed.
They go and kill... the two main vampires are... I don't remember the names. One of them's called Maxine, I think.
Yeah.
And then there's the other one.
The guy.
Who just looks like the guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to call him Maxie because he looks like Maxie from Soul Calibur.
Okay. Maxie and Maxine. That makes sense.
Maxie and Maxine.
That makes sense.
Go and kill a bunch of lesbians.
Don't forget where they are, because I wrote this down in
where are they?
Separate. I put a full stop after each one. They're in the lesbian drop-in center. There was a sign.
Well, lesbians drop in, yeah.
just to chat. It's like the WI, but strictly for lesbians.
It's the LI. It's the Lesbian Institute. And then Jesus and Mary find Maxie and Maxine, and they just finish feeding. And then Maxie goes like, "Hey, Jesus, do you want to play a game? Close your eyes." Punches him in the throat.
And he's like, "You're it," and then runs away.
Yeah. So they chase him to the roof, where Jesus and Mary get the ever-loving crap beaten out of them by these two vampires. When later on you see that Jesus is very capable of fighting like a bunch of vampires at once. Here he's just kind of useless. But maybe it's because he hasn't found the love of a drag queen yet. I don't know.
Such a weird thing.
Yeah.
Maybe these are like the elder vampires.
Yeah, sure. These are the vampires.
Because he only kills them through harder means later on. He can't beat them up.
Yes, you're right.
Maybe.
So Jesus gets knocked out. Mary gets taken away, fed upon. She becomes a vampire. Jesus is left to like die on a street where a bunch of people walk past him,
like the
in like a good Samaritan. Yeah, exactly. Including my favorite character of the entire film, the security guard who says, "Sorry, mate, my confession ended at 6 p.m. That is a mood. That guy is the biggest mood.
Oh, sorry, it's 7 o'clock. I don't care about you now.
Exactly. But like, I'm not on the clock anymore. I don't have to care. That guy gets it. That guy has worked retail. I understand him.
You hold in some trousers. It gets to like 5 o'clock. He's dropping. Right, thank you.
Yeah.
See you later.
He gets saved by a drag queen, who I was really worried they were going to do some gross stuff about, but it was fine. It was okay. It had weird energy, but it was okay.
Yeah.
He goes back to Straight Hooters and is given a bowl of cherries with some cream on it, who speaks to him because it is God. The bowl of cherries starts talking to him, and Jesus says, "Oh, it's you, Dad," and then eats one of the cherries. God tells him to get help. And he goes to get help from his best friend, El Santos.
A Mexican wrestler.
A Mexican wrestler. And his assistant, Mrs. Oddbottom, where people just keep grabbing her ass constantly throughout the film.
And it grows.
Every scene she's in, someone grabs her ass.
Because at first I thought, this is just like a weird, like, perverted thing. Then later I was like, this is a bit.
No.
This is a
Literally
bit.
everyone grabs her ass. It's weird.
Including Jesus.
Including Jesus. El Santos is fantastic, though. I mean, he's based on a real Mexican wrestler from the 1980s. And like people are taking pictures of him, and he is like, "Make sure you get my good side, or you'll get my bad side." And I was like, "I am in love with this character."
Yeah, this guy's great.
He's wonderful. They go to the Dominion bar to hunt more vampires, where blind leper Jerry is singing.
No, sorry, please get that right. Blind Jerry Leper.
Blind Jerry Leper, that's
get
right.
the right way around, please.
And like, you figured it was going to be a thing like Jesus cures the blind and the lepers. He's going to cure blind Jerry Leper. Nope.
He's just a scat man.
He's just a scat man.
I love this. Jesus, great.
That Jesus tries to do a scat number. Where he's like, scuba dooba dooba doo, boarded a crib, doopa 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 doo, Mary Magdalene, doopa 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 doo. The way he finds out everyone in the bar is a vampire is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because he looks in a mirror, sees there's no one behind him, turns around, the bar's full. The only people that can see in the mirror is El Santos and Mrs. Oddbottom. So, fair enough. I like that.
Yeah, it was quite cool, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird. It takes to this part about half in the film for them to start doing vampire cliches.
Vampire killing, yeah. He picks up 2 handfuls of drumsticks, throws them into the audience, and it perfectly lands in the heart of every vampire there.
Yeah.
El Santos kills a bunch of them by throwing toothpicks at their hearts.
Yeah.
Jesus kills one by doing garlic bread.
And then it cuts him eating shawarma and ordering extra garlic sauce.
Yes. It's perfect. The bit where they fight in the bathroom, I really enjoyed as well. Because he like punches one of them into a bathroom, and is fighting him in there, shoves her into a bathroom stall, and like the guy who's on there, who you've never seen before, it's a complete stranger, the man in the bathroom stall, grabs a stake and stakes this woman through the heart.
Yeah.
He has no reason to assume she's a vampire. That man was just ready to kill.
And I can't remember what it was. There was one of them. One of the ways they died, I didn't fully, obviously.
Or was it the water attack?
No, one of
them. Where he
them
blesses the beer and does holy water.
No, I got that. One of them wasn't wood. One of them, they got killed by something.
I think the way that you have to assume the vampire lore in this film works slightly differently, where it's like anything through the heart will kill the vampire. It doesn't necessarily have to be a wood.
Because everything was wood apart from like one thing.
It's like the metal legs and a bar stool, I think.
Yeah.
And then later on in the like junkyard brawl, he like stabs a woman with a pipe.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I think in this it's just like stake through the heart doesn't have to be wood. Fair enough. I've seen that before in vampire things. Usually it has to be silver, but whatever. You know what? I couldn't care less. This film's great.
Yeah.
Jesus speaks with his mum.
Yeah. A little
statue of Mary, who has one of my other favourite lines of this film, which is in reference to lesbians. Oh, God loves them. They get so much done in a day. It's brilliant.
If you want the world to be a better place, all people in power should be lesbians with that logic.
I mean, that's not wrong.
I don't see that being I don't see that being a bad thing.
Yeah. Let's put all the lesbians in charge, and then all the gays can have a holiday, and the straights can get to work. Sorry.
Something to do, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're putting you in camps. Jesus.
You could be camp for once.
Yeah.
That's their slogan.
That is why you're going into camp. So, Mary meets up with Jesus and brings Maxine and Mexi, who kidnap Jesus because they've got El Santos.
Yes.
They meet in like a junkyard, and they start fighting there. And then Jesus appears as well in the doctor's office. Starts fighting there because he's everywhere.
And he wears different T-shirts each time.
He sure does. The fight in the doctor's office has some amazing shit. Like where Jesus gets a chair kicked at him. He jumps over it, lands in the chair, and says, "And on the seventh day, he rested," and then kicks him in the head. You also have the doctor using intestines as a whip and kidneys as knuckle dusters.
Yeah, that was very strange.
Crazy. El Santos beats up a couple of Mexican wrestlers.
This was my favourite part of the whole film.
Yeah.
When they were still tied up, El Santos got kicked and he fell backwards onto the face of Oddbottom.
Yes.
I laughed too much about it. He fell backwards. She was facing the other way, and she just went.
Important to note as well. In the club, El Santos fell in love with a woman who was kissing another woman. Important note for later, because it leads to another one of the best lines in the film. So Jesus manages to defeat the doctor guy, and in a junkyard fight, one of the priests from earlier on has been turned into a vampire as well, because vampires also offer eternal life, but they do it faster. That priest stakes Jesus through the heart.
Yes.
Which gives Jesus a beam attack.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, this is my question, because earlier on there was no getting attacked or harmed by sunlight because they went out. I thought they'd make a nod to it because very beginning Maxine put sunglasses on. I thought it might be an eye thing. Well, they look at the sun, they get hurt. But this one, you only get hurt by the sun if Jesus has a hole in his chest.
That's the thing. I think the sunlight thing is negated by the lesbian skin thing, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah. And the priest hasn't eaten a lesbian. That's very true.
Well, no, because he's also infected by the sunlight, and the divine light from Jesus also kills Maxie. What I think it is just that when Jesus has been staked, it releases the holy light within him.
Yeah, and
from heaven.
Yeah,
and he gains a beam attack.
Yeah.
He uses solar beam on the two vampires, and they're water types, so they die instantly.
And they turn into sand, not dust.
They turn into sand. And then Jesus cures 3 vampires of their vampirism, which is a thing he can apparently do.
Including Maxine and Mary
He cures
Magnum.
Maggie. He cures Maggie, which is El Santos' girlfriend.
Yeah.
He cures Mary Magnum, and then he cures Maxine. So a lot of M names.
Yeah.
And Mary and Maxine end up together, which, good for them. And El Santos is like walking over with Maggie, and Jesus is like, "But Maggie, aren't you lesbian?" He goes, "No, I'm bi." And El Santos is like, "Yeah!" He is so excited. It's so funny.
Yes!
She's bi.
That's how everyone should react.
Yes.
She's bi.
If your friend comes out to you, that is the only good response.
But only if they're bi. If they're not, you've got to do a different noise. But they're bi. Yes!
You meet 3 queer people, and one of them's like, "Oh, I'm lesbian." You're like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And the second one's like, "Oh, I'm pan." It's like, "Oh, that's great. I'm bi." So Jesus gives like a final sermon, and film wraps up. Maggie and El Santos fly off together. Jesus grabs Oddbottom's ass. The end. It's like a blooper reel throughout the credits, but whatever.
Yeah.
This is the best movie ever made.
There's a few things
my God.
Point out. One of them was, I think, like the dance sequence. Jesus showed his hand where the hole was, and then that's never again. It's like
The line is like, "You're wounded. You're wounded. I get it. You're wounded. Well, you show me yours, and I'll show you mine." So good.
The blooper reel I really enjoyed. The actor playing Jesus, how many times he can't use a skateboard was really funny.
Yes. Oh my god.
This was beautiful. Beautiful film.
I can't remember the last time I've had such a good time watching a film for this show. This was a treat. I don't have a segment this week because I forgot to plan one, so let's just move straight into pitching a new film.
I think we need longer to make this film anyway.
Yeah. So, do we do... Because obviously we have like Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Do we do another figure hunting vampires, or do we do Jesus hunting something else?
I was thinking that too, but I was thinking Jesus with something else might be quite funny.
Oh, Jesus teaming up with someone else.
Oh, I know. It depends. Either we do have a whole vampire hunting team, or we do Jesus hunting something else.
We do a Vampire Hunter cinematic universe.
Us and our cinematic... Yes, why not? You know what? We can't stray away from cinematic universes, and I think, why not?
What's really great, say, laughing so hard as my nose... I mean, definitely that. But I was going to say is, laughing so hard as in my nose run a little bit, and I've got all this toilet paper on me, so it's fine. So...
Right.
We already know about Jesus. It's this guy. We already know about Abraham Lincoln. It's Hugh Jackman. So that's we've got to work out what type of figures we are trying to portray here. What do Jesus and Abraham Lincoln have in common? Great hair,
and they are really supportive of getting rid of slavery.
Yes. Well, both of them in their films support minorities.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that then.
Abraham Lincoln supports black people. He frees the slaves. Jesus supports lesbians.
In these films. I'm thinking about Jesus, the Egyptian man.
Oh, General Jesus, sure. So what's another minority that needs support and who supported them? Or do we just do a different time period? I think that might be easier.
No, let's make it hard for ourselves.
Okay, Christ.
I don't want to just pick... I just don't want to pick... I just don't want to pick political figures.
No, I mean, they're going to be historical figures.
So you could go for Churchill.
I'd rather not, because he's an asshole.
I was just thinking of
famously a bad person.
What people were oppressed and who helped stop it.
Sure. I'm trying to think, because we've got Abraham Lincoln's from the 1800s and Jesus is from the zeros. So I want someone between 1800 and zero, ideally.
Who was a gay pioneer around the Greek time?
I mean, all of them.
All of them.
Greeks versus vampires.
Aristotle? No.
Philosophers versus vampires.
Here we go.
Philosophers versus vampires. So,
Jesus was a philosopher, wasn't he? So, yeah, we'll take that. Sure. And arguably, Lincoln's some form of philosopher.
So, it's Plato, Aristotle, Socrates.
Oh, Socrates has got to be the lead. He's the biggest one of them all.
Okay. And those three team up to fight vampires. Mm-hmm. With the blessing of the Greek gods who are going to appear in this movie too.
Why not, eh?
Why not, right? They all believed in Greek gods, so the Greek gods will appear. So, playing Socrates. He's going to be our leader. Who's Socrates? We need like an action movie star here.
Are we going good or are we going funny?
I think let's get someone who is a blockbuster star. I think we should have
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Well, I was going to say The Rock, so it can be Rockrates.
Yeah, Rockrates, and The Rock would be a good casting because we know he can do comedy.
Johnson.
We know he can do comedy if he needs to, And he'd be good for the musical number.
Exactly.
Perfect.
We're definitely having a musical number.
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, I think, is a good shout, but I think he should be playing the lead vampire.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
We're essentially doing the Expendables, but with ancient Greece and vampires. So, playing Plato, I think we need this to be...
I think someone really scrawny to be Plato. I've never got Plato. I don't know him. I've never met the man. But I picture The Rock and Plato, Socrates and Plato, like Pain and Panic. Okay, that's what I've got in my head.
Okay. So Plato is going to be Rick Moranis. And then
Rick and Rock strike again.
Rick and Rock. So Aristotle has to be the old one of the three. He's going to be like the old master type. So I think let's get Christopher Walken.
Oh yes, Christopher Walken. Woo,
Christopher Walken. He's like
because we haven't had
Aristotle. I don't know anything Aristotle was. Probably we must have done at some point. So those three are being. I think Aristotle gets attacked by vampires first, and he calls up the two youngsters, Plato and Socrates, to come and help him fight off the vampires.
Yeah.
And he shows them his... Because they don't have a lot of the conventional methods to beat Aristotle yet, because Jesus hasn't been born yet. So they don't have holy water or the cross. So they have to discover...
garlic.
Well, where's garlic from?
The French
Garlic,
Revolution.
I know, is in Italy.
It's from the French Revolution.
Yeah, garlic doesn't get invented until the French Revolution. So they don't have that either. So they have to discover how to fight vampires, and they learn about wooden stakes for the first time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then the lead vampire...
How realistic is our time frame of these people?
Oh, completely wrong.
So we could add like Pythagoras and Galileo for no reason at all.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Not Galileo, because he's not from ancient Greece.
Yeah, but neither is Jesus. He's in this film, isn't he?
No.
Okay, it's fine then.
Very much Jesus has not been born yet, so they don't have access to all Jesus
Pythagoras.
stuff.
We can have Pythagoras.
We can have Pythagoras.
He needs to be a woman.
Yeah, it's Pythagoras.
Yeah.
Great. It's
because this is when we learn Pythagoras gets eaten, because we learn that Pythagoras is a lesbian, and that's the vampire's vice.
It's Leslie Jones as Pythagoras.
From me, yeah.
And then
she gets eaten.
We're doing that then.
They learn the vice of the vampires, because Pythagoras is clearly the most lesbian of the Greek male philosophers.
Sure. And then I also, so that we don't just like kill off all of our female characters, I think we also have to have Archimedes come in.
Yeah.
Also played by a female. And that's going to be...
I'm thinking of someone, but I don't know their name.
Okay, what film were they in? Who did they play?
No, I'm just seeing people. None of them are forming into thing. I'm thinking of people maybe like the strong female of like action films and stuff. So someone like Sigourney Weaver or Jamie Lee Curtis, that sort of thing. Maybe.
Okay.
And then Archimedes can kick some butt later. Yeah.
Let's have Archimedes, and let's just bring in some like ancient Greek heroes as well for no reason. It's like Odysseus and... Oh no! Because they'll we'll have Homer. We'll have Homer appear.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'll do. And then at the end, they write the Odyssey like in The Hobbit. I love it.
Yes. So Archimedes can be Sigourney Weaver, and since you just mentioned The Hobbit, playing Homer is going to be what's his face? Who plays Samwise?
Andy Serkis. Okay. Sean Astin.
Sean Astin, yeah, is playing Homer.
This is a great
Andy
film.
Andy Serkis is in the film that he's playing Zeus.
What animal is Zeus?
A swan.
He can do it.
Wait, no, a bat.
Is Zeus is evil in this?
No.
No, Zeus. Oh no, because Zeus was not a very nice man. He could have made the vampires.
Yeah, he made the vampires and then he tasks the philosophers with killing them because he can't be bothered to himself. But during the final fight scene, a bat does land on a vampire's shoulder and then turn into Andy Serkis and crush them.
Yes!
And then Buscemi and Waititi are playing Poseidon and Hades. Buscemi is Hades, Waititi is Poseidon. You knew it had to be that.
Yeah. Because I was seeing them more like both of them playing Hermes.
I mean, it could also...
No, that's
Hermes, it needs to be someone really, really fast. So it's going to be Usain Bolt as Hermes. In his first big acting roles into Virgin Media.
Someone like, I don't know, Ben Schwartz or Ezra Miller, who played fast people. Okay, just get a fast man.
But Ben Schwartz and Ezra Miller are both playing Hephaestus. They take it in turns, scene by scene.
Are we just making Percy Jackson now?
Basically.
Playing Percy Jackson.
The second in command vampire can be Mantsukas.
Yes.
And he just goes completely nuts. And there's a bit where he's about to kill Archimedes, and Archimedes goes, "I'm by," and he goes, "Yes!" And then Archimedes stakes him through the heart. And then in the post-credits scene, you introduce
there's only 2 vampires in this.
Well, no, there's a bunch of other vampires, but there's like
people.
Nameless grunts. Extras will play that.
Okay.
We can play 2 of the vampires to appear in one of our films.
Can we be the first ones to die?
Yeah. We die by walking into the sun, and we're like, "Oh no, damn it!"
Sorry, you're saying post-credit scene.
Post-credit scene, Jesus is born and El Santos is there. And playing El Santos is Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, because I can't remember his brother's name. Blanco? David?
Who are you talking about?
The Collector from MCU.
Oh, really?
He's a Del Toro.
Oh, do you mean Benicio del Toro?
Yep.
Sure.
David?
Yeah,
it began with a B, and it wasn't an English name, and I got stuck.
In a future sequel where we make the Vampire Hunter cinematic universe, the Vampire Hunter Avengers, Benicio del Toro is the main villain. He's playing evil Los Santos. El Diablo. And I think that's it. I think that's our movie made.
Yeah.
That is our episode done.
We got a name for it.
Oh, Philosophers versus Vampires.
Yeah.
Simple. We don't have to overcomplicate it every time. We've got a good film on our hands. This is $1 billion promise. It's got The Rock in it, man. We're making bank.
The highest paid actor. So yeah, we've lost all our budget.
We're not making any profit off of it because all of it's going on The Rock.
Yeah,
but and the final, the big trailer line that gets everyone hyped up for it is The Rock standing there with 2 stakes in his hand over Jean-Claude Van Damme. And he goes like, "Time to die, sucker, blood sucker." I'm not doing a Rock impression, as you could tell by that terrible voice. So if you've enjoyed this episode of Electric Boogaloo, please give us a like, a comment, and a subscribe. Hit that little bell. Check out the other stuff we've got on Liquid Eagle. We're going to take a little break from making episodes of this for a while, focus on doing some other stuff for a bit. But we will return in the future with more sharks and more Neil and more other stuff.
Yes.
So thanks for sticking with us for these ones, and look forward to more things. What was that voice?
Spells!
Spiders! Have a wonderful Halloween.
Yes.
Stay safe out there. We'll see you soon. Keenan, hit him with that outro.
I don't have an outro today, but I want to tell you one thing. Electric Boogaloo is by.
There we go. I think the glasses make it.
The glasses.